Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Psycho Gold. This is Psycho Gold Videos. Yes, it's cold today. Today on the channel we're going to be checking out That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Now I'm watching this late at night because my stream went over much later than it normally does. My friends and I were really enjoying Borderlands 2 Assault on Dragon's Keep. So whilst I'm going to be watching it at the same night it goes out, I suspect I won't be able to get it published until the following morning. Simply due to the fact that when I get really tired, my editing doesn't really go that well. So, sorry it's a bit later than normal guys, but fingers crossed it's come out, at least in the UK time zone, fairly early in the morning. So, it's not that long of a wait. But I'm really excited to check this episode out. I've been looking forward to it. I tried to watch it before I actually started streaming, but I have been trying to get my vlog edited from MCM Comic Con, so between the two things, I just didn't have enough time to fit Slime in, so we're gonna do Slime right now! I imagine most of you have probably already watched this and are like, get to it! So, without any recap, let's just dive straight back into Slime. 3, 2, 1, go! Free Union Blumment Guild. Okay, we're getting back to the idea of guilds. It's these three from the first episode. Guildmaster Fuse, back in the flesh. So is that literally the only reason they sent them there? Oh, they then searched the cave. I was going to say, it's taken them a while to come to this conclusion. The three of them are like, wait a minute, we were hoping to have time off. Oh, hello! This person's from the intro, we've seen her before. Yeah, she looks impressive, in inverted commas. Traveling is best with companions. Yeah, but she ain't your companion. You don't know anything about her. She could be a serial killer for all you know. Wait a minute! Why did he do the, whoa! He's huge and he has double horns! Okay, he couldn't do that before. But anyway, I'll get off track. He totally just did the Kamen Rider Henshin sequence then. With his little arms. Henshin! I appreciate that reference, Rimuru. Ah, the best doggo. This is an excellent combination of teams. Although I must admit, his blank expression on his face sometimes can be a bit unnerving. Oh, it's been a few weeks since the previous episode. Okay. Oh, so he's got other traits that he can show them. Nice. Oh, so having the entire group was actually a lot more useful than just having the one. Oh, look at that. He's expanding his empire. Ah, orcs. See? Orcs and goblins are not the same thing. So, now the goblins massively outnumber the, Oh! Wow, he named them as well? I thought he'd leave some of them unevolved, but... Alright. See? He did leave him behind. So he managed to summon a wolf. Or his wolf. That's interesting. See, all those people who said that oh no, he went back for him, you just didn't see it. It's like, nope, gotta go more Saiyan. Remember your goblin pride. Oh, they have a security team now. No, humans. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, apart from the fact we knew that they were coming, but obviously everything in the forest deems humans as the greatest threat, so... Oh! Oh, those three alone would make a hilarious anime. I swear I'll come back and haunt you. It's a nice looking sword. Oh! It's a fire sword. Truman, if you're watching, look away, my child. You are not prepared for this. The integrity of her sword must be very high. What? Oh, okay. So is she like a battle mage? Not only can she set it on fire, but she can, like, put explosions out of it. It's like a quasar saber. She's better than all three of you. But that's because I'm 99% confident there's something special about her. What the hell? Whoa! Black lightning! The tiny little slime. Yep, the polite Rimuru. Oh! That's where... I wondered if that was her, I just wasn't sure. Okay. I was gonna say, that seems like a complete waste of magic energy, but alright. Yep, she got that. The one you're destined to be is named Shizu. Oh wow, look at them building. There's certainly, with the dwarves' ability of architecture and improving the goblin skills, they've certainly made a big difference to that village. They can make a goblin town. I like the way he's lost his eyes completely. It's just black holes now. Interesting. Like, he could form friendships with the guild if he plays his cards right, which would be pretty handy in keeping his village from harm. Oh! So she has already worked out that the slime is a person. You were reincarnated. Someone finally said it. Oh yeah, that was sadness. She is a summon. That's what we were talking about earlier. Veldora talked about that, yeah. And yet, she seems to be living very much independent. I was just gonna say, is she the girl that we saw being taken away in a fire funnel? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Oh, is he gonna show her what Japan looks like now? Well, now we know why he wanted his computer to be destroyed. That's pretty cool. She gets to see... well, I mean, she wouldn't necessarily recognize that, but she gets to see what Japan looks like now, all these years later, like, prospering. Yep. Looks very different to when you saw it. Oh, it's quite a little emotional episode, really, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. There's something not right about her, isn't there? She's either dying or she's running out of energy, whatever it is. However, they're gonna spin it. But that's what's happening. She's running out of time. Maybe the mask helps slow down whatever it is that's happening to her. Oh! Are we gonna see what happens next? Although the fact that they summoned a little girl is kind of, problematic. Wait, what? She got like a fire beat demon living inside of her. She's Ghost Rider, y'all! Oh! Okay, that I was a little too accurate. That's the end. Seriously? These episodes, man! Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime episode 6. As per normal, it was an absolutely amazing episode. I'm just going to come out and say it. This is my favorite anime I'm watching at the moment. I thought it was going to be a toss-up between this and Goblin Slayer when I started watching them both, but Goblin Slayer, whilst I still thoroughly enjoy it, is not maintained the same level of quality that Slime has. I'm absolutely loving Slime. I think everybody watching it actually is loving Slime. And there was just so much in this episode that I thought was really good. We got to see the Goblin Village, or more like the Goblin Town. I mean, that thing's going to be huge when it's finished. Like I said at the beginning of the series, he could make an open town that welcomes everybody. Has a pretty decent security presence, as they said. They've now got their own little security force, and they've all got hobgoblins, obviously, not regular goblins, which makes them much more of a force to be reckoned with than if they were just goblins. Plus, they've also got the Tempest Wolves, and even though they're not going to be part of the security, they have the dwarves obviously making their equipment, making their swords, so when they're not building houses, crafting jewelry, etc., they can give them some pretty damn fine armaments, I would imagine. Obviously, Rimuru is able to supply them with pretty much any material that they could want, so they could easily enchant the weapons, make them ridiculously strong and powerful, which instantly gives the goblins a leg up on the majority of people, I imagine, who are going to come and investigate them once they actually get up and running. I also like the fact that this episode, you know, gave a bit of context to Rimuru's actions in the world, and he's starting to realize that actually he hadn't really thought through, which is understandable, like the implications of everything that he's been doing in general, not just removing the Dragon Veldora, and now he's kind of like, I need to properly think about this stuff now, because obviously the fact that he removed the dragon is why so many monsters are now on the move, why the people are getting so uppity, and now why these guild members are obviously there investigating, and they probably won't be the only ones investigating, and so it's probably not going to be the last. He also obviously has now got himself in a position of having way more goblins under his fealty than he ever anticipated. Not only has he got the originals, but now he's gained several other villagers who are very much aware that they would be wiped out if they were to just, you know, carry on their own. But now that Rimuru is actually there and he's physically there in person, he is obviously able to provide a level of direction and protection that they're just not able to get. Even if they were to band together, they just wouldn't have the strength, even if they had the numbers. But now that they've become hobgoblins, now that again they've teamed up with this organization, which is essentially what he's creating, they're much more of a force to be reckoned with. I don't want to say dangerous, because they're really not, but if Rimuru was to organize them as such, then yes, they would be. And like I say, they've got the Tempest Wolves, they've got Rimuru himself. Obviously, we now have the Goblin King, not the Goblin Lord, and it'd be very interesting to see what he can do with these titles that he keeps receiving. Just how much stronger is he getting? I'm also curious if he can teach Black Lightning to his faithful best doggo, because obviously, ultimately, it is an ability that seems to come from his wolf form, and it looks like it comes out of the horns, and since, I can't think of the wolf's name now, it's completely gone from my mind, but you know who I mean, the other wolf with a star and a horn. I wonder if he's going to be able to learn Black Lightning at some point, because that would definitely make a big difference to the level of power in that village if two of them had that ability, because it seemed pretty OP when he both used it on a rock and then on a giant ant. It pretty much vaporized him. It didn't like shock him to death, it just literally disintegrated him from existence. And talking about those giant ants, that brings us nicely to Shizu, which I wondered if it was going to be the girl from the last episode and the theories that we were talking about on last week's Anime War. No, on last week's Anime Talk. But I wasn't sure, because obviously the opening and the closing credits, they keep showing us stuff that hasn't happened yet. Like, so I don't want to like make assumptions based on what you see in the opening and the closing, because the end credits has pretty much been different almost every episode. But it doesn't necessarily lead into what's going to happen next. I mean, this episode had a different set of closing credits, which seemed to show a lot more of these other people, these Oni, that we've not been introduced to. You know, the other humanoid-looking things with the horns on their head. And obviously, Slime having a human form, which, if you watch Anime Talk, I'm not going to say it here, but if you watch Anime Talk, I actually have a really in-depth theory on how and why Rimuru gets that human form and who she is. And short version, my theory is that Shizu is his human form, and that something's going to happen to her that's basically going to require him to take on her form, either out of respect or either out of necessity, for whatever reason. And that's why he is destined to be with her. He's not destined to be with her in a relationship, he's destined to be with her because he's literally going to take her form. And like I say, we go much more in depth to that, and I was saying to Panda and DeeBeeGeek about why I think that, but that's the short end of the stick. But I just think that seeing her actually come into the show now, and she's got this issue where she's either struggling to control the fire spirit that we now know is within her, or she's dying because she's coming to the end of her summon. I assume summons aren't permanent, they're not normally in like video games, for instance. Or the third option is her soul is cursed, so that if she goes against her summoner, we don't really know what happens. one would assume that it would be an instantaneous punishment, or they're just simply incapable of denying. But she's been around for a very long time. She's been in this fantasy world since World War II. So, what's that? So she could have been there. She's been there since she's a kid. And obviously, interestingly, we know that she came into this world as a kid, but she's not a kid anymore, and she doesn't actually look that similar to how she entered the world. So I'm wondering if it's even the same body. Obviously, we know that the fire spirit took her body, but she was also summoned by a very powerful mage. And interestingly, Veldora said that it takes a team of mages and several days to summon a summon. And this dude seems to have done it on his own, and I think that's why he said that she was a failure, because he was trying to see if he could harness the power of summoning these incredibly powerful beings, is what they are to them at least, on his own. Because imagine how powerful that would make you if you could literally summon these summons, and we saw how powerful she was against the ants. So imagine how powerful that would make him if he was able to summon these things on his own, and he was able to have multiple of them, all not able to refuse his will. Because he certainly didn't look like a good person. He might have been, because, again, because they think of these people from Earth as only summons, most people in video games don't really care for their summons, so why would they care for theirs? He could be the best guy on the planet, but in his brain, a summon is just something he created with magic. There's literally no reason to feel any affinity towards her. On the other hand, they might know exactly how the summons work, and everyone in the world just might be morally ambiguous about it, which would be an interesting way of looking at it. I am curious how long Shizu's going to be in the main series for. I think the next episode is probably going to be mostly about her when it comes down to what's going to happen and how she came to be, because the next episode is called Fire Conqueror, I think, or something along those lines, and obviously we just saw that she has a fire spirit within her. It also explains why she was able to do those really cool fire abilities that we saw earlier against the giant ants, which again, I really liked. I thought it was pretty impressive. She's had, 60 years to practice and hone her craft in the art of fighting and fire magic, so it's no real surprise that she was able to take on some giant ants without much issue. And she probably would have been able to finish them all off if it wasn't for whatever it is that's affecting her, because she properly went down when she was trying to fight that last ant. Luckily, the Black Lightning came and saved her, though. All in all, it was another great episode with some really good world building. It's something I really do enjoy about Slime. It's similar, not the same, because I know loads of people will have heart attacks if I say it's just as good. It's similar to Overlord in the way it's doing its world building. We get a lot of impressions about what's going on in the world outside of just Rimuru and his crew. I'm actually currently really digging the fact that we are also sticking with Rimuru. We do see other stuff, but so far, in the first 6 episodes, Rimuru hasn't stopped being the main focus. And I have no issue with seeing stuff from other people's point of view, like the 3 guild people. But I like the fact that Rimuru is still the main focus. I don't want to spend 6 or 7 episodes with some random people that I've never met. If they decided to make the adventures of the guild mates a whole episode or something, I'd have been but the fact that we just saw it, in relation to Rimuru, I quite like that, and the comedy that they had, especially when they were running away from the giant ants, was really amusing. I think those 3 characters, if they're gonna be recurring throughout the series, they're gonna be pretty amusing consistently, I suspect. Assuming that they don't die horribly and that this show isn't about to pull the rug out from under us. It's all nice and cute, see, nothing to see here, and then BAM! Everybody dead! Because, that's what Overlord did. But this show isn't Overlord, so hopefully it won't do that. Anyway, guys, that's probably going to be about it for this episode. I really enjoyed episode 6. I can't wait for episode 7. I just think this is easily the best anime that's on at the moment, and I'm really enjoying the other anime that I'm watching, so if you guys feel the same, let me know down in the comments section, and let me know what you thought of this particular episode. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, because it really helps. But that's going to be it from me, guys. As always, my name is Psycho Gold, and I will see you in my next video. Psycho Gold, out.